Welcome to the Healthy Metal Hippie podcast, where art and wellness collide. I'm your host, Ashley, and I am so excited to connect with you today. Now, let's jump into today's episode, ready to rock and with an open heart. Well, hi and welcome back to the Healthy Metal Hippie. Today, I really wanted to have a little chat about some of the things I've been thinking about the past week. Gatekeeping, about having multifaceted interests, which I know we all do, exploring how those interests make us appear to other people and how it shapes our view of ourselves and of the world around us. I'm really excited to just have a little moment to explore this with you. It's been a very interesting week, to be honest. We started last week by seeing Love Bites. They're a Japanese metal band. We started out the week seeing them in London at the Garage. And it was an incredible show. Fast forward to Wednesday, we went to see Andrea Bocelli at BST Hyde Park, and then, sorry, that was on Friday. On Wednesday, we went to see AC/DC at Wembley, and then on Friday, we went to see Andrea Bocelli at BST Hyde Park in the absolute pouring rain. On Sunday, I was at a yoga retreat selling different products from one of my subscription boxes, the Happy Healthy Hippie box. I'm going to put some more info to that in the show notes and the links below if you want to check it out. But it's been a very interesting week. So let's get right into it. So I thought we could really start just having a moment considering gatekeeping. When have you been gatekept? Have you ever done gatekeeping before? Maybe we consider it like looking at a band that you like and, or maybe looking at a new band and judging their look based on the genre of music that they're creating. Maybe it's being gatekeeping about different fandoms and, who's allowed in. I talked about it I've talked about it on my blog before, and I've talked about it other places, but in the Aerosmith fandom, when we had really young fans, and I guess technically I'm still a young fan, but talking about especially when Steven Tyler was on American Idol, and Aerosmith gained a ton of new fans, new following, and a lot of them were 12, 14 years old, and I actually thought it was the coolest thing, that the amount of crap that these poor people took from older fans saying you're not allowed to be a fan because you're too young. It was the most mind-blowing thing to me, because I always think, if you love a band, don't you just want everybody to love the same band? That's kind of my thinking. So, I think about that a lot, and it's been a very reflective month in a way too. Getting back, I'll just touch quickly on that Happy Healthy Hippie box. It's transforming. It is turning into a quarterly box, which I'm very excited about. But I have had a ton of feedback from people that when they see me, they don't think that I fit the hippie box. And just because of my look. And so if you are watching on YouTube, you can see me. Sure, I have black hair with purple and blue on the bottom. I wear dark eyeliner. I wear a lot of black, but my shirt today, it says love. my shirt says love. And I always say to people, well, I need to wear a lot of black. Otherwise my sparkling personality would just be too much. And so I don't know, it's very interesting. And so I got a lot of feedback that people possibly did not connect with me being an expert in nutrition and holistic therapy and energy healing, simply because of the way I look. And, I'm not going to lie, that one's been it's been hard for me to grow, but, so it's got a new home with a new box that's being launched right now at the same time, which maybe people will be more excited. Well, I don't want to say more excited, but they'll see that I am looks-wise aligned much more with it, which is the heavy metal hippie box. And I'm really thrilled about it. Doesn't matter here. We're going to put that in the link if you want to go check it out. But point of the story is I am, surprised yet not surprised how our inherent biases towards people and towards looks and different traits that people have, how it plays such a significant impact on so many things. And, it's within the first 3 seconds or something that you make a decision whether or not you're going to like somebody. And, wow, those first 3 seconds, maybe it's 10 seconds, I can't remember, but it's, that can be incredibly difficult to change if somebody's made up their mind about you, right? Today I'm really thinking about just, having an open heart and an open mind. What I keep noticing I don't feel that old, but apparently I am. So what I notice in the Gen Z and younger, I guess there's still a younger generation than that, I think, isn't there? But they really just have taken all the rules of, fashion and, maybe fitting into a box, and they've thrown them out the window. And sometimes I don't, I don't quite get it, to be honest, but I absolutely love how the younger generations, how they're dressing, and, how they have so much fusion in their music between styles. And not that there hasn't been crossover in the past, but I feel it's taking a totally different path. I find it very interesting, very inspiring. People moving, just, God, they're so cool. They're so cool. And I know I hold myself in little boxes of how I want to dress and how I want to look. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I just love that they're taking all the rules and throwing it out. And I think they're redefining what gatekeeping means, or if it's even going to continue to be a thing. I think they're just taking all the rules that we've set on ourselves as people for generations, and they're saying, no more. And I mean, this is just how I perceive things. And I'm just, honestly, we're sitting down today and we're just reflecting a bit, but it's something that I've been thinking about a lot. Another piece of it for me is I've always been, of the hippie kind of attitude and mindset, and, but always kind of with a hint of a punk rock or of just a rock and roll kind of look. And I think it confuses people. I also think that when we showed up to Andrea Bocelli on Friday night, and my boyfriend had his Kiss hoodie on, and I had a leather jacket, but like a biker jacket, we were kind of the outliers there. And we definitely had, in my perception looks from people, and not judgmental, but it was just kind of like, oh, are you sure you're at the right venue? That's kind of how I saw it. And I mean, I could be totally wrong, and I probably am, because again, I find more and more that the more we think that, people have these thoughts about us, they're not real. So that, I mean, that's a whole other topic for another day. But it's interesting, I guess. So if you thought of who's going to go see Andrea Bocelli, we probably, if you put us in a line of other people that were there, we'd probably be the least likely to go, is what I would assume. The thing is, I've loved him since I was a kid, and listening to him with my mom growing up, it's, there's so many special memories there for me, and being able to see such a legend, it just, like, it was overwhelming. I was definitely crying at the show, and gosh, in person, it's just even more overwhelming. But on the other end of the coin, like I say, we're out at metal shows, and I'm doing yoga retreats, and it's fabulous. I think this whole discussion really got stemmed from this amazing woman I was speaking with yesterday at the retreat, and we kind of touched on this, like, my look, and it was very interesting how she was speaking to me about, she used to work in the music industry, and now she sells books, I believe. And if you're listening, and I'm sorry, I forgot your name, and I think that's right, though, that what you're doing now, she was talking to me that always the metalheads, they are always the kindest people, and they always have a very gentle spirit. And, I don't think this is, 100% truth of any genre, but I do find that they are very, very accepting. My boyfriend has talked often about being at a Slayer show, and they lifted the guy in the wheelchair up so that he could crowd surf and have the best night of his night. They're accepting, they're open. And, it was interesting too, because she was speaking about the fact that they are likely so, empathetic towards people, and so big-hearted because they've experienced a lot of heavy things. And again, we can't pigeonhole this to a genre of music, because everybody from all walks of life have experienced those emotions. But I can understand what she's saying, and I think it's a very, very interesting topic to explore in itself, and to be honest, I've got my notes here, but and it's something that's been on my mind really since she was speaking about it to me, but I haven't done any in-depth research, so but I do know that across the board, people find this to be true. I am shocked sometimes. We'll go back to Taylor Swift, at how some of the fans can be extreme bullies and extremely, they're very defensive of Taylor, which I love, because, hey, that's so cool that your fans will stand up for you, like, thick or thin. But it's, but I think for other artists sometimes, and, other fan groups, it can be very detrimental. People they have drawn these kind of generalizations, though, from the rock and metal crowd, that they are just open, kind, caring, and loving people. Going back to looks for a minute, do you think, and I want you to take a moment here, and I want you to think, when you see somebody, do you pass judgment on how they look? Just think about that for a second. Yep. I think whether we like to admit it or not, we all pass judgment on the people that we see, online, out on the streets, wherever it may be. And maybe it's not even as much about how they look, but maybe it's how they're speaking. I don't know. But we all have these like built-in biases that have kind of been with us, or have learned through the years. And it's not always a bad thing, but I think it's something that we should be conscious about and, really look at like, hey, if I think, I don't like the look of that person because they've got a pink fluffy hat, why? I think it's important that we go and reflect on what it really is. If you have these feelings, if you see someone, ooh, I don't like the look, well, what is it that bothers you? Are you actually bothered by it? Or is it just you going like, oh, I wouldn't wear that pink fluffy hat myself, but she, he, whatever, they look amazing in it. There's things like that. If we're judging whether somebody should be at a concert, whether it's due to age, or maybe they don't look rock and roll enough, or maybe they, whatever the case may be. I think it was interesting because me just thinking about this wide variety of events that we've been at the past couple weeks made me think that, yeah, it's true. I probably don't look like I fit in at some of these events, but that's okay. At the end of the day, what does it doesn't make a difference. We're all, if you're there, I'm going to assume you're there for the same reason that I am. And that's for, a love of an artist, love of, yoga or whatever the case may be. So do you think there's anything that you can do to start to shift these biases and kind of let them go in some ways? Really examine internally, what is the real issue behind them? Or, I'm just so curious. And I also just want to remind you, it is okay to like everything that you do, no matter what it is. If you like fluffy unicorns and death metal, I'm actually really in for that. If you like classical music and, I don't know, whatever, gardening, great. I love it. You can have a multifaceted personality and interests, and I think it's something that makes you really unique and really special. So I hope you keep it up, and I hope you keep finding more magical things today. So let's see. I think I also really wanted to share with you. We went to the AC/DC dive bar in London yesterday. So this is another piece that I just thought was kind of amusing because I go on a yoga retreat and run into Rock and Roll Central Camden to go check out some vinyl and check out the pop-up dive bar. And it was really cool. And that drilled home that multifaceted interest, and it's totally cool. If you have a chance, today, as I am recording and releasing this episode, today is the last day, but they will be in Paris next. And so if you have a chance to check it out, I definitely suggest you do. It was just really cool environment, cool memorabilia and collectibles and all sorts of things. If you love AC/DC, and how could you not? Oh wait, that's my judgment. I don't mind if you do or you don't, but you should definitely go check it out if you have a chance. This week, maybe I'm going to give you a challenge. If you are willing to accept, is either try something new that would be out of your norm, whether it's like a new food or see a local show at a, whatever kind of club you wouldn't normally go to, or maybe you're going to try a new sport. And challenge 2, choose one or both or none, I guess. If you see somebody that you're really drawn to, or somebody that you're kind of really I don't want to say put off by, but let's just say that, if there's somebody that you're passing judgment on, either way, positive or negative, sit back and try and reflect why, and try and go deep as you can. And I think doing that's going to help release a lot of that judgment and, make us all a lot more open-hearted and open-minded, which truthfully the world needs a heck of a lot more of these days. So today I'm going to send you lots and lots of love. Over the next few weeks, you're going to be seeing some very cool artists coming up from UK and from Canada, and I'm just really excited to share with you. So until next time, have a beautiful day. See you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Healthy Metal Hippie podcast. If you're looking for more, head to healthymetalhippie.com and let's connect. Until next time, wishing you a magical week. See you later.